Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the seventh round of the Classic Lotus Grand Prix here from legendary Le Mans in France. I'm Joonas and alongside with me on the camera booth is Tapani Linnaluoto. Tapani, we are riding alongside Current Fridge here, actually on board with Current Fridge. How does first of all, let's talk about the setup in the Le Mans circuit because there are long straights. You got this long back straight, and isn't exactly the natural environment for the Lotus 79.
No, indeed it isn't. Uh, the straight is like almost 6 kilometers in length, and it's over a minute full throttle. So you basically need to set up the whole car around the one straight, get rid of all the downforce, uh, and try to get the car go as fast as possible. And then you somehow just want to hang on during the corners. That's about it, I guess.
So basically, very different from the usual Lotus 79 experience.
Extremely different. It's we have the disadvantage that we can't rip off some of the downforce bits of the car, so we can so we have to just make do with the tools we have. Basically, that's take the wings off as much as possible and lift the car up so the underbody downforce is less, which gives some pretty much top speed actually, but that's gives a lot of trouble in some of the higher speed corners especially.
So do you think it is only about the top speed? Because I've been listening to conversations with drivers, and they say that how do we maximize top speed and top speed is and top speed kind of comparing top speed. But how much do you think would someone win if they are say 2 or 3 kilometers per hour slower on the main straight, and then they are faster through the cross curves a little bit?
Well, I suppose you can hang on in the slipstream, but it's if you want to pass, well, you're going to get passed straight on. So maybe on the last lap you can do something because, of course, you have the corners in the last part of the lap. So.
So speaking of the last part of the track, how is the Le Mans circuit? Of course, we saw the 24-hour of Le Mans race on our racing. We saw it just now; it just ended, and what a glorious race that was. So basically, how would how would you describe the circuit Le Mans, and what are some of the points to watch out about?
Well, it's a historic race circuit. It's been raced. 24-hour races have been done since 1923. It's maybe one of the most historic tracks, along with Nordschleife in Europe. And the track itself, some slow 90-degree corners, some S's, Porsche curves, and the the S's in the first part of the track, which we're arriving soon, along Grand Prix, and lots of straights and not much else.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, indeed. So it's kind of like a temple of, well, they say Monza is temple of speed. I would like to raise Monza into that discussion as well. Perhaps not quite as legendary as the Nürburgring and the Le Mans, but also Monza is one of the legendary circuits. And one thing that is in common with these old-time circuits is that they each tend to have long straights. Like you look at these older circuits, you look at Le Mans, you look at Monza, you look at Nürburgring. They have also the in the old circuit they had long back straights. They still do have that, and other circuits as well. So it is all about top speed. And once times progress, once times go on, as we are riding on board with Johan Lampi now, as times go on and top speeds raise, you tend to get rid of these long straights because they are dangerous, frankly. While the straights itself are not dangerous, but the speeds they are driving, in comparison to the surrounding environment, are dangerous. But you have still these couple of tracks left where there are these long straights, like Le Mans, where we don't have the chicanes running this year. There have been talks about running the chicanes next year, but this year no chicanes. So is it refreshing to see a circuit, like a great old circuit with no chicanes, like running like it's supposed to, so to speak.
Well, yeah. Back in the day, every track was like this. They built. First of all, the first races that were run were from town to town on normal roads. So basically, you have long straights and some corners where there's intersections and winding roads through the forest and so on. So when the first purpose-built tracks were done, like North Shore Life, they were kind of copies from that style of tracks. And today, well, not very many race cars are designed to run on long straights. Le Mans is maybe the only place left that really has, and it now has those chicanes on the Mulsanne straight. So.
And actually, I think it's called the. Isn't the straight called Grenadier? I'm just making sure because I'm not sure because it's often called the Mulsanne Strait. We'll speak more of the Mulsanne Strait soon, but it's often called Mulsanne Strait. Isn't it? Okay, my French pronunciation. You know about it, and I'm sorry, but isn't the strait called actually Grenadier? And Mulsanne is the town and the name of the corner or the king towards the latter part.
Well, frankly, I'm no expert on the details of the track. We should ask Mr. Butel of these things.
But I don't want to lecture, I just want an answer.
I don't know. I took my track map from Wikipedia and it says Mulsanne Strait, so...
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. So anyway, actual times, as we are going to talk about more about the straight soon and the dynamics of the race. Anyway, Sergio Macias is in the lead with a 3:26.0, and that is actually faster than the, it's without the chicanes, but it's still faster than the HPD prototypes did in the Le Mans 24-hour race. Johanna Lampi now takes the lead with a 3:25.6, so that's the second week in a row, I believe, that Juha has taken the pole position, unless someone can challenge him. And who is still out there who could? Nobody, because we have run out of time. So it's Johanna Lampi in the pole position, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the lack of times. We had a bit of problem with the timing, but now it has been solved. So Johanna Lampi 3:25.6 in the pole position. Sergio Macias alongside with him on the front row with 3:26.0. Antti Lepistö third, Ian Card fourth. He said he couldn't make it, but he still made it, so that's good for Ian. Vincent Chavot in 5th position, Dennis Thorsten Kaul, Gernot Fritsch, Mathieu Wood, Nathaniel Porter, Victor Rodriguez, Philip Lee, Kalle Ruokala, Andre Ventura, Sam Dovi, Daniel Banker, Robert Simpkins, Oleg Kapovani, John J. Hill, Ralph Giancotti, Mark Molina, Ulf Matus, Ten Dupuy, Rudolph, Christopher Sars, Dupro, Steinhurst, Decam Carpentier, Stavros and Winton, Sam Winton in the 30th position, last but not least, of course, and quite a surprising grid.
Yeah, well, everybody's on the grid today, so it's going to be, well, more the merrier, I suppose, on this track at least.
Yes, indeed, 30 drivers, it's gonna be a fantastic spectacle. I think the Le Mans 24-hour race, of course, is playing a part in the fatigue of the drivers. A lot of drivers perhaps tired after the 24-hour race. I know I am. I know you are. You might be probably too. But
well, my race ended a few hours in, so.
Oh yeah, you guys didn't make it. That's right. And there are also some drivers who are mentioning about running out of time in the second lap, so they actually had to make do with their first lap. Kalle Ruokala, one of them, only starting in 12th position.
And it's going to be green soon.
Yes, it's going to be green, and we are going to be underway in any second now. And here we go! Round 7 of the Classic Lotus Grand Prix underway, and good start from position number 3. Antti Lepistö sprints right out into the lead, taking the lead right away, right off the bat from Johanna Lampi. So it's Antti Lepistö from Johanna Lampi. Sergio Macias is in 3rd position from the 2nd position in the front row. So will everyone make it through the first corner cleanly? The answer is yes, they will, so far at least. Doesn't look like there's many incidents. Couple of drivers taking a bit of off-track excursion, but other than that, it is perfectly clean. So we all 30 drivers are able to keep going here, and let's see what happens the first time they enter into the straights. Philip Lake, and it is Kalle Ruokala 2 wide already for P number 11. Kalle taking the position in third Rouge, but Philip Lake able to follow him on the draft, and now there is the snake going out on the back straight.
Well, I'm extremely interested to see how this straight dynamics work out.
And we are 3 wide on the back straight already. So that's a bit surprising. We were 3 wide at least. There's a battle going on between Kalle Ruokala, Philip Lake, and they're also catching the car of Sam Doby up for the 10th position. This is how you see how the draft dynamics work here. 310 kilometers per hour on the back straight, and it will be more. And now there's also Daniel Banker joining that battle. So the draft works. Ahead of them there's also a good battle. Victor Rodriguez, Vincent Chavot, Gernot Fritsch, Mathieu Wood, and Torsten Kaul, and also 2 wide for the lead of this race. Sergio Macias already overtaken Juhano Lampia, and now he's alongside Antti Lepisto, so 2 Finns and a Spaniard for the lead, fighting out for the lead. Coming in the Mulsanne corner, who will break later? It is Sergio, and he just manages to stop his car in time. Car squirming and squirreling under the braking, but he is able to stop it, and now Antti Lepisto has to give up that lead. Is in the 2nd position. Juha is 3rd. Then it's Ian Card in the 4th place after, of course, starting in 4th place as well. So he is about a few car lengths behind already. Then it's Mathieu Wood, Torsten Kaul, Victor Rodriguez, and they will continue their battle going towards Indianapolis. Oh no, and there's a bit of a checkup. Bit of a close situation. Mathieu Wood causing a bit of a checkup for Torsten Kaul, and that allows Victor Rodriguez to pass him by, coming into the Indianapolis corner.
Before Indianapolis.
Yes, indeed, Lepisto going into the lead as well. So Sergio Macias now in 2nd place. And this is what it will be all race long, ladies and gentlemen. Good battling, insanely good battling for 13 laps. And who will come out top, we don't know. Right now it looks like Antti Lepisto is able to take the lead for the time being. Sergio Macias in the 2nd place and Juhano Lampi in the 3rd place, approaching Porsche cars, and this is where we separate the men from the boys.
I'm interested to see also if some guys are much faster on the twist bits. If they're the highest top speed in draft I saw was 325 kilometers per hour, and without draft it's like 315. So there's certainly an effect on the straights, but maybe you can't quite keep up on the corners.
Yeah. That is one good point, and that is what I was talking about earlier when talking about making setups and so on. And it looks like to me that Ian Card has been cutting up the lead back a little bit. Meanwhile, Antti Lepisto takes a slowdown.
Yes.
Antti Lepisto takes a slowdown penalty in the last chicanes, in the 4 chicanes, in a Ferrari. How ironic is that when you remember the Le Mans battles of the yesteryear? And that means that Sergio Macias is able to take the lead, regain that lead. Juhano Lampi right in his toe, trying to keep up into that sweet slipstream, and Antti Lepisto in 3rd place in Card. Then Mathieu Wood, Victor Rodriguez, Torsten Kaul, Gernot Fritsch only 8. Vincent Chavot, Kalle Ruokala rounding out your top 10. So this battle, it will commence, it will keep going all race long. And what I want to talk about is that one corner, that right-hander before Turtle Rouge. That is very difficult. Some drivers making it through already, but I think we will see a lot of difficulties with this car on that particular corner because it's cambered, so it's going to be a really difficult position. Back in your race lead, it is Juhano Lampi trying to catch up to Sergio Macias, and he has a lot of time to catch up to him indeed. This straight, it is very long. And once you get within that 0.6 of a second, then it's just slipstream by time, and then you can basically pick a side and go from there.
Looks like Sergio is one of the faster cars on the straight, and he didn't see much of a slouch in the corners as well, so Juha is just keeping up.
Yeah, Juha is keeping up, and it's Mathieu Wood and Victor Rodriguez side by side for your 5th position, and now it's also side by side for your 3rd position. Ian Card rising up to the challenge, coming up to challenge Antti Lepisto, because hey, why not? Ian is out there. He's not only driving out there, not only driving very well, but he also wants to put his name in the hat for the lead, and Antti Lepisto able to fend him off for now. So We have a long straight. We have a slipstream battle, something you seldom see in the Lotus 79 series.
And what is usual for this car is that when you have that advantage in the slipstream, but
As Ian goes to the outside.
as soon as you go alongside, that vanishes and you're stuck.
Yeah.
You can't get past. You just just get alongside.
Yep, your example, prime example right here, Ian Carr trying around the outside, is not able to make it happen. So, Antti Lepistö and Ian Carr battling. Oh, and Antti goes wide in Indianapolis, and Ian Carr says, "Thank you very much, the podium position is mine for the time being." So, if you are Antti Lepistö, do you follow him, try to catch up to the leaders, or do you just try to battle and keep that position back, even if you lose the leaders? Oh, and there's a big wreck on the back, and that is the car of, I believe, Daniel Banker. Daniel Banker, I believe, was involved in that one, as is someone else. There's a red car, and it's Oleg Capovani of Italy. Oleg Capovani, the Italian driver, driving in France in 17th position. He brakes too late coming into Indianapolis, and nothing you can do there. Hits the back of Mark Molina, thankfully, and Steve Solis, I believe. So Steve Solis goes a little bit wide as a result of that, but no further damage done, I believe. So it's only Oleg Capovani who loses out as a result of that. His own little mistake, and it's very easy to miss your braking point here. And if you miss it even by a little bit, there is no downforce to help you. There is no ground effect to help you. There is only pain and sorrow of a missed braking point and a hit either with another car or the wall. So, still Sergio in the lead, still Juhan Orlampi catching him up, trying to catch him up, keeping up the hopes alive. Then Ian Card, Antti Lepistö and Victor Rodriguez, and as well as Mathieu Wood, Torsten Kaul, Gernot Fritsch, Kalle Ruokala, all in that next pack. Third place has been caught up, and now it's suddenly a train running from P3 to P number 9, and that is going to change everything. Now, the leading duo, this is like Tour de France, pardon the pun here, because this is like Tour de France, but not in terms of Le Mans, because we are actually in France, but the terms of the biking race. You have the getaway pack, the guys who are trying to run away, and then you have the main pack, the peloton, trying to catch them up. So, only difference is that there is only so much the main pack can do.
Yes, you can't really push the front guy.
And also, Torsten Kaul seemed to having some difficulties in the straight line. I think what he got was a slowdown penalty, and now it's Kalle Ruokala and Gernot Fritsch side by side. Get this on the pictures. Kalle Ruokala and Gernot Fritsch side by side in Le Mans with the Lotus 79. That is quite a sight. Those two guys, they have been racing for ages, and they are battling it out as we follow this race along. Ian Card and Antti Lepistö also side by side in the third position. Gernot Fritsch and Kalle Ruokala, of course, they drove in Team CDC black and in Team CDC red. Kalle in red, Fritsch in black in the 24-hour of Le Mans race. Practically teammates, now they are bitter enemies once again, and it is Kalle who takes the 8th position, I believe, right now, or the 7th position rather. And meanwhile, Victor Rodriguez is also challenging Ian Card right now in the straight after the Mulsanne corner coming towards Indianapolis. It is right now Antti Lepistö who can breathe for a while. Lepistö can indeed breathe. He is back in the third place. Then it's Victor, and it's Ian Card and Mathieu Wood and so on. And they are battling it out. Ian goes way wide, has the inside coming into Indianapolis, is able to fend him off, but isn't quite able to block the crossover, and as a result loses the position for now. Or does he? Because coming to Arnage, he's able to take it once again as Victor Rodriguez misses his braking point, and as a result it is Ian Card in the 4th place. But Antti Lepistö looks to be running away for now in that position, and right now he is just hoping that Juha catches up to Sergio Macias and they start battling it out. Otherwise it might be gone. That lead, that is. We are running on board with Mathieu Wood. As you can see, in front of him is Victor Rodriguez, in front of him is Ian Card. You can just see how harrowing, how difficult these course curves are, especially when you have no downforce. And that's the thing. These both be nice, lovely flowing corners. But why are they so famous? Why are they regarded so difficult? It's because in Le Mans, you just don't have the luxury of downforce. And that's what makes these fast corners so difficult.
Yeah, the Lotus 79 just squirms under you in those corners. Doesn't really want to. It's the rear just slides around. It's hard to keep it going on rails. And what I like to say is many of the braking zones are especially difficult without the downforce. Indianapolis is probably the hardest, as we saw on the last lap. Uh, you can anything can happen there really. Our race ended there in the 24-hour race, so I think I can say that.
Yeah, anything can happen and usually will. I had a spin myself as well in the Indianapolis. Of course, I was able to keep going, unlike you guys, obviously, and that is very unfortunate indeed. Back in your race lead, Sergio Macias was able to pull up 4/10 on Johan Lampi. Right now, the gap between those two drivers is 1.1 seconds. Then it is 2.5 seconds from Antti Lepistö to Johan Lampi in your second and third places. Ian Card in fourth place, 2 seconds behind Antti and Victor Rodriguez and all the other drivers in that pack following the suit. Right now, Victor Rodriguez and Ian Card, as a matter of fact, are already running side by side. Then they are back in single file formation, and then it's Ian to the outside once again. Kalle Ruokola following them, Mathieu Wood getting the slipstream of him, passing him. Gern Fritsch watching along as they settle for the positions. We are in lap 4. This is going to be a 13-lap race, and you are going to see this all race long here at 12 TV Classic Lotus Grand Prix. Macias still in the lead, Norlampi still in second place. Now, what am I looking at here is that Juha is a little bit faster, I think, on a straight line than Sergio Macias. 2 kilometers per hour.
Yeah. The distance is a bit too much to get a good slipstream. This car is not like a GT3 or like that. The slipstream only gets you like you have to be under a second or so to really get the benefit. Juha was only a kilometer or 2 per hour faster on the straight when there was like 1 second difference.
Indeed, and Gernot Fritsch now catching up to Mathieu Wood and Kalle Ruokola in the battle for 6th position. Gernot going to the inside on Mathieu Wood, and he's able to get it done. Matt giving him a lot of space and a lot of respect, as Gernot, of course, demands. But and he makes a mistake on the braking in the next corner, but he's able to get it done. So right now it looks to me that it is Kalle Ruokola and Gernot Fritsch battling for those positions 6 and 7 at the moment. Let's see what happens further behind them. Torsten Kaul is in difficulties. Torsten Kaul has a lot of trouble. He is trying to keep it together in, I believe, what is 9th place at the moment. And then we have a couple of drivers out, and we will get what happened to your screens as soon as possible. I believe it has something to do with driver of Vincent Chavot. But we will get that information to you as soon as possible, because I believe that those guys were running in 10th position. So, indeed, Vincent Chavot coming towards Indianapolis. As you said, it's a difficult place, and missing his braking point entirely and running into the back of Sam Doby. So there you go. That's quite reminiscent, if you look at it, Tapani. Quite reminiscent of what happened to you guys, I believe, in the 24-hour race.
I'm looking at the top 2 right now, so I didn't watch the incident. But I think Johan is faster on the twist bits.
Oh, well, that is interesting development indeed. Because, last lap round, 3:27.6 point Sergio, 3:26.8 for Johan Lampi. Granted, Juha also had the benefit of slipstream for the end of that lap. But that is interesting indeed, because Johan looked a little bit slower early goings. But once this race progresses, it looks to me that Johan Lampi is the fastest driver by a little bit, by a hair. But that doesn't mean the race is over. Sergio Macias, of course, the driver who is able to battle it out with him, battle for the lead. But the question is, does Juha want to battle at this stage? Or does he want to tuck in behind Sergio?
I think the clever thing to do would be to keep as close as possible and pass on the last lap before the Mulsanne corner, or maybe even before Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's a clever thing to do, especially as you got the variable of Antti Lepistö, Victor Rodriguez, Kalle Ruokola, Ian Card as he pulls alongside Kalle. and also Gernot Fridge on that battle as well. Let's actually look at those guys for a moment. They're running side by side once again, and will Gernot, when will you start to thread the needle? You can go over the middle bit. As against the usual habit, you can actually go over the middle bit, the higher bit with the Lotus 79 here, but I wouldn't do it. But basically, as they come up to the car of Victor Rodriguez as well, Kalle going outside of him, then it's Ian Card on the outside of Gernot Fridge, and this pack is coming towards Mulsanne corner, and amazingly, it looks to me that, a little bit of contact, oh, Sergio running over the wheel of Kalle Ruokola here, and Kalle loses a lot of ground as a result. I was just going to say, amazingly, it looks like they're all going to make it on the braking, but Kalle just gets a little bit squirmy on the last bits of braking, and then Victor Rodriguez just giving him no room at all on the exit, basically going to the exit as he were alone. Of course he wasn't, and we'll have to see if Kalle is damaged from that. Meanwhile, Gernot continues to harass and harry the car of Ian Card for that 5th position right now. So Victor 4th, then it's Ian Card 5th, Gernot Fridge 6th, and Kalle Ruokola in the 7th position. Mathieu Wood running behind them in 8th place. And these guys look to be battling instead of trying to catch up to the car of Antti Lepistä, who is all by himself in the 3rd place. And Antti is the loneliest man on the racetrack, I believe, right now. He is running very high indeed. But unless the leading duo, Sergio Macias and Juha Lampi, start battling it out, then I don't think Antti has much of a chance. We'll have to see. 3:27.8 last time by, 3:27.6 for Sergio, and it is the lap time of Sergio that we are going to compare him to, because Juha is running behind him on the slipstream. Practically he could go a little bit faster, I believe, but he just doesn't want to or can't, so Sergio is the guy he has to catch up to. That is the lap time that matters. So we have to see how it develops. The gap isn't overly big, it's 3.7 seconds. So he has to just pull up 3 seconds and he is in the slipstream. Let's see what his lap time is this time by. 3:27.1 for Sergio, 3:27.3 for Antti. So he's close yet so far. He has to find half a second, I would say, somewhere, and he will start catching up. Or if the leading duo starts battling it out, eventually at some point. Right now, Antti is basically just a sitting duck, just someone who sits around, tries to do as well as possible, but he has to know the situation and he has to be frustrated. So Tapani, Tapani, basically, it's Kalle Ruokola. We are following him. He's a little bit aggressive. This is a development that we usually see. Kalle is quite aggressive as he has to chase after an incident like that. Meanwhile, let's not let us not concentrate on the aggression of Kalle as much. I just wanted to mention it because he has been sliding around as notified by our lovely director as well. So Kalle is trying to catch back up to Gernot Fridge, but I think the man who makes him see red right now is Victor Rodriguez. But this, I must point out at this point, is a very clean series indeed. Any incident is a rarity and usually apologized for immediately. Hence why, but that doesn't make the frustration any less when a crash happens. And Kalle, once again, pulls up alongside Gernot Fridge. He is doing 325 kilometers per hour running down the back straight. So is Gernot, as he gets a little bit of slipstream of the cars of Ian Card and Victor Rodriguez as well. It is the same situation. This 4-car pack approaching the Mulsanne corner once again on lap number 6. Again, they are almost in the same formation. Kalle breaks early this time round. Let's see what Victor does. Can he fend off Ian Card? Yes, he can. Ian gets a better exit. Cuts right in front of Gernot Fridge. And let's see, once they come up to Indianapolis, will Ian Card be able to pull it off this time round? Or does he actually want to break too late once again? He doesn't want to break too late, of course, but it's a certain possibility. And it's actually easier to do than one might think.
My heart jumps every time I see these poor guys coming into those heartbreaking zones.
Those heartbreaking zones. Yes. Pun intended. Yeah. And as a driver, as from driver's perspective, as someone who has actually driven his car on this very circuit, it's a very different feel to what you usually feel when you jump into the brakes.
Yeah, the car just wants to move about, and you have to brake so much earlier and easier than normally. Normally this car just stops with all the downforce. Oh, and there, Ian Card is sliding around and
Oh, Ian
loses
very
a
wide
couple of
at this
places.
early part of the
Whoa!
Porsche cars.
And he hit
I
Kalle local as he was going by.
Yeah, indeed.
Kalle
And
is out.
yeah, Kalle is out, and that's a very unfortunate development indeed. So what happened there basically? Ian going wide in the first part of Porsche curves, and then he was rejoining the circuit, but he was right on the left side, and I think Kalle could have gone a little bit more to the right. He was trying to take the apex, of course he was, but he ended up hitting the almost stationary car of Ian Card, who was running slow on the left-hand side, and Kalle hit him right on the right front tire with his rear tire and spun around and hit the wall back end first, and also hit the poor car of Matthew Wood in the progress as well. Matt looks to be carrying no damage at all from that impact. So Ian Card and Kalle Ruokola coming together, and Ian having perhaps some damage from the impact, but Kalle Ruokola out of your motor race for what is, I believe, the second week in the running, and Kalle has been very unfortunate these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, sure. That was. He wanted to carry with as much speed as possible, going by Ian Card, and that was a calculated risk, I think, and it didn't pay out this time. He wanted to keep up with the guys in front.
Yeah, I think so too, and I've been there, I've done the very same mistake. You want to, when someone is slow in front of you, you don't want to lose any time at all overtaking that driver.
And if you lose time on this track, you can lose the train, so...
So indeed, that is what you risk at here. But on the other hand, as Ian Card is trundling along on the straight line, getting overtaken by Matthew Wood, and right now following the slipstream of him. So basically, what is Ian Card? What could have Ian Card done different there? I don't think there's much that he could have done other than, well, not making a mistake. But after the mistake, because it looked to me at first that he came to the track right in front of Kalle and took him out, but then once you look at the situation, he was really not. There is not much more to the left that he can be without being on the gravel, and of course he can't really be on the gravel without slowing down insanely much.
No, Ian did just everything everybody else would do, so he joined the track, tried to get up to the speed, and hope the guys behind can find a way around you until you get up to speed. So.
Indeed so.
I can't fault Ian or Kalle for that matter. He took the risk and...
Yeah, just unfortunate. Two cars coming together, and you know, this is the thing. In this series, there is no... Oh, as Ian goes wide once again coming into Indianapolis, he went to the outside. He must have some damage from now, because, well, he went wide. He went wide earlier on too, but he has had a couple of light contacts. Right now he is losing the slipstream of Matthew Wood as well for the 6th position. So he is going to have an uphill battle from here on. Meanwhile, it is Victor Rodriguez and Gernot Fritsch fighting it out for the 4th place of this race. Victor Rodriguez, car number 5, battling it out with Gernot Fritsch, and I believe he is running a very similar livery to the car of Sergio Macias. I wonder if those guys are running as teammates.
Well, you tell me.
I don't know. But two drivers from the same region coming into the Lotus 79 community as relatively new drivers, and both are very, very fast indeed. So those two guys are some who are going to shock the balance. The established status quo that hasn't changed much over the years. As Rodriguez gets loose in the last corner and Gernot is able to catch him up a little bit. So Gernot Fritsch following him along, wondering what can he do here and what is the best game plan here, because even the computer-like brain of Gernot Fritsch has to be working overtime here. He has to be thinking, okay, what do I do now? Do I follow him along? How do I catch up to the guys in front? He sees Antti.
What?
He sees glimpses of the Ferrari of Antti
He's
in the distance. Yeah, he's too far away. So right now he has to just concentrate on, okay, how do I battle Victor? How do I get rid of Victor without Matt and Ian catching up to me? And further back on your field, let's look at these battles also. Further back on your field, it is John G. Hill and Urs Mathies fighting it out for P number 13, and also Mark Molina and Robert Simpkins fighting it out for P number 15. So these guys running further in the back, perhaps, yes, but they are still fighting along and on the track as well. So shout out to these guys as well. We had 30 drivers at the start of this race. Right now, 23 are
Looks
still
like
remaining.
Xavier the Carpentry is out.
Xavier the Carpentier, indeed, he is out of the race. In his home circuit, he spins in the Indianapolis corner, and that is that for his race. He had massive front end damage already, 10 spins to the wall, and he is out of this race. So very unfortunate for him. A lot of drivers being caught out by the brutal nature of the Lotus 79. They want to try it out on this track, but I don't think many have the proper setup, and I don't think many drivers are able to adjust that well. And Fritsch goes wide. Gernot Fritsch goes wide, so it allows Victor Rodriguez to run away a little bit for now. They are coming up to the left car of Thomas Christopher as well, who is in P number 23. Will rise up to P number 22 in any moment now. So here goes Victor, and next up goes Gernot Fritsch as well. And to the drivers who are new in this series, perhaps, the drivers who have just come along, especially to this circuit, they say, okay, they want to try it out, and they should, as Gernot has to decide the side, eventually goes to the left and is able to get the move done. It must be quite a sight, you know, you're running a relatively normal Lotus 79 setup, something that you run on normal circuits. And then you see these leading guys coming along, perhaps 30-40 kilometers per hour faster, just flying by you, sideways, sliding, scrolling, battling each other, and then just disappearing into the distance. I think that those are the points when people are going to then go to the forums, go to the discussion area and say, yeah, the classic Lotus Grand Prix drivers are insane and there's no way I can do that. But is it really that difficult? Honestly, is there like a Rosetta Stone to understanding the language that the CDC guys speak?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. It's just a friendly group of guys having fun, battling it out.
And that is a very good answer indeed. I would say sometimes enemies, friends, long forged relationships, guys who know each other in and out, guys who have battled against each other in numerous occasions. And right now, they are fighting for the glory at Le Mans. Sergio Macias and Juhan Lampi. They are the leading duo, but we talked about this earlier on. We still have 4 full laps to go in this motor race. 4 full laps of 3.5 minutes. Sergio last time by 3:27.2 for him. Juhan Lampi 3:27.1. Antti Lepistö 3:26.6. The gap right now between Antti Lepistö and Juhan Lampi is 2.9 seconds. Sergio 3.4 seconds. Sergio 3.4 seconds behind the 3.4 seconds behind the leading Sergio, of course, Sergio Macias. So that is very interesting indeed. Kanti is catching up all the time. And meanwhile, Mark Molina, we have just heard that Mark Molina has hit the wall very hard on the back section of the track in the Porsche curves. Indeed, coming up to the first left-hander of the Porsche curves. He just slides wide, hits the barrier, and then hits the barrier again and goes to a sickening series of side-winding snap rolls and is out of this motor race, ladies and gentlemen. That is very unfortunate for him. He had a battle earlier on. Right now, later on, he has to watch the rest of the race from the sidelines. And that is very unfortunate for him. Thankfully, this is a simulated race, so no further harm done.
Yeah, so looking at the battles going on, it's Ian Card is catching up Matchey Wood.
Yes.
But not many other battles going on. I was a bit afraid this would happen when you lose.
Oh, Ian swirling sideways, still able to get his car stopped and actually get alongside the car. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, get alongside the car of Victor Rodriguez, and Victor Rodriguez ends up in the wall. Ian Card as well, very frustrated of the impact. Let's see what happened there. Ian was on the inside. He had already gotten the overlap done. He was ahead. But Mathieu Wood getting a better exit on the left side. And the cars come together. Mathieu Wood on the whole car on top of the curb, and Ian went into the wall as well as Mathieu Wood. Ian able to keep going. Matt, I don't think so. I don't think he is able to continue this motor race. No, he is not. So, Tapani, inside on that impact. That's a difficult call to make, actually. That's a difficult call to make. But I would like to hear your opinion first.
Yeah, I'm looking at the incident. I think Ian should have given more room. There was still clear overlap in the exit of the corner.
Well, I would see it a bit differently. As Johanna Lampi, let's continue that later because Johanna Lampi is right alongside Sergio Macias right now. I think he has seen that, okay, Antti is catching up to us. There's no point continuing this cat and mouse game. This following each other a long game. Let's give some entertainment for the people. And Sergio Macias as well, he is able to keep the lead. And Johanna Lampi, crucially, is sideways at the exit of the corner. He is really having difficulties putting that power down at this stage. But at the entry of the corner, Juha is just able to get the car turning in so much better than everybody else. It's almost incredible. The first chicane, Sergio pushing along. And Johanna Lampi just able to turn his car in so well. But the exits, there is a lot of difficulty for him to keep it controlled, so he has a lot more oversteer. And Johanna Lampi is right behind him as they come to the back straight, but he goes a little bit too wide, I think, and gets a slowdown penalty. I'm not too sure about that. And slides wide at the previous corner, actually able to take the curb. And that is a very difficult place. I hit the wall on the Le Mans 24-hour race just at the right hander before Turtle Rouge. I talked about it earlier. You can go through it very, very fast and left, right. It's high camber, but if you miss the line, even by an inch, you are in the wall, and that wall will suck up to you really quick, suck you in it, and end up your motor race there at 10.
I'm sorry to stop you, but I want to just say that Antti Lepistö has found a new gear in his car. He's just flying towards the two guys in the lead.
Yeah, he is. The two guys are of course battling, but that doesn't take anything away from the car of Antti Lepistö, who is very fast indeed. 326.9 last time by 2.4 seconds the gap between him and the leader Sergio Macias. Johanna Lampi also joining that battle. We have 3 laps to go in this race, of course, 3.5 laps to go this time by. So the decisions have to be made now, but will it be a 2-car battle or a 3-car battle? That is the question. Coming back to the incident between Ian Card and Mathieu Wood, I would say that technically, from my perspective, Ian had actually cleared him. So he had cleared him, and if he had cleared him, then technically he didn't have to give room. As Johanna Lampi goes to the outside at Indianapolis, doesn't able to get it done. He doesn't have to give him room because there was the curb. Technically he was over the track limits, so what Matt was trying to do there was go from the left over the track limits and regain a position alongside. But granted, Ian also could have, and I think also in terms of pure racecraft, should have given him room there. It's a difficult call to make. But
yeah, well, the normal line goes over the curb, so you use all the asphalt. So,
but in pure technicality, it's outside the track limits.
Depends whose rules are you using. So.
And Ian Card goes wide once again. He has had a difficult race as he was close to the leading battle, joining in the leading battle earlier, but he goes wide once again, losing a lot of ground to Nathaniel Porter in the 7th place right now. Torsten Kaulu behind him. Let's focus on the lead battle, however, as we are coming up to lap number 11 of this 13-lap race. We still have 3 laps to go this time by. They come over the line. Let's see lap times. 3:27.4, Sergio Macias. 3:27.2, Johanna Lampi, and Antti Lepistö 3:27.1. The gap right now 2.2 seconds. So Antti not quite able to keep the pace he was keeping earlier on. Once again, you see Juha just so much better on the entry of the corner and so much more loose on the exit, and I'm just amazed how he is able to get that car turning in so well. Low downforce setups, they usually share one common trait: they don't turn in.
Well, or they turn into well.
Yeah, well, that is true. That is a possibility as well. You know, turning
Oh,
in a little bit too much.
regarding this very low downforce setups, it easily is understeery. For some reason, I suppose the aero becomes much more. The center of downforce moves backwards. Compared to the usual balance.
Yep, Torsten Cole also passing the car of Ian Hart. Right now, Andrea Ventura is the next one behind Ian, hence Philip Blake a long way back. So I think Ian should be able to hold on to that top 10, but it is not the race he wanted, certainly here at Le Mans. And meanwhile, the leaders also have some lap cars, changing the complexion of their battle, as Sergio will be able to get a draft too. It is Jason Steinhurst in the car number 22, and he gets away from turn way very nicely indeed. Doesn't change his line, doesn't do anything stupid, just communicates and makes his intentions clear as he lets Antti Lepistö by as well. Johanna Lampi looking left, looking right, looking at center, but isn't able to get the move done and doesn't want to get the move done at this stage of the race. It looks like to me that Antti is well within shouting distance now. It was 2.2 seconds to the lead last time by, and it looks to me right now that it has to be actually a bit less. I think a bit less once they come through the Porsche curves, and Juha has to get the moves done as soon as possible. Meanwhile, something has happened to Gernot Fridge, I believe. Oh yes, in the back straight, Victor Rodriguez. He was trying to pass Victor on the back straight, and Victor just closed the door on him. Well, that's interesting. They were coming up to the Mulsanne corner, and Gernot was trying to go to the right-hand side. He was a bit puzzled about that, and for a good reason. And Victor just closed the door on him, basically, and Gernot had to lift, and they continued the battle another way. So that was something you don't want to do. Granted, also, Gernot had a lot of room on the left-hand side as well, but still, you can't make late moves. You cannot drive from the mirrors unless your name is Max Verstappen. So, Johanna Lampi and Sergio still battling for the lead. Antti also joined the battles as well. Any predictions? Tapani, can you see the future? Can you see through your crystal ball of magical Lotus 79 knowledge and tell us what is going to happen?
It all depends how close Juha can be before the last lap. If he can just get alongside on the before Mulsanne or Indianapolis, get the pass done, I think that's it. But if not, well, I think that's it.
And he loses a lot of time.
Sergio has a lot of trouble in the slow sections in this latter part of the race compared to Juha. So it's all about how Juha can play this. If he can play his cards right, I think he could take it.
He could take it indeed. I agree with you. And there is another thing I was wondering about, and it is the length of the back straight. It is so long that if you... Oh, Juha, keep it under control. Come on, man. You are not Juha Kankkonen, you are Johanna Lampi, and still sideways. Oh, no. With one lap to go, he's able to keep it under control, but he loses the second place to Antti Lepistö. Now is the time when you have to collect yourself. You have to work together with Antti. And Sergio Macias looks in these mirrors. He breathes a sigh of relief. His toughest challenger has escaped from him, but right now Juha is getting really sideways indeed, and he has to do all the work all over again. And I think Sergio right now can breathe a little bit easier. He has a little bit of breathing space, but Antti Lepistö was 1.6 seconds back last time round. Let's see what they do. What will Antti and Juha do? Do they catch up to Sergio and do they battle each other? The answer is Juha lifts. Juha lifts behind Antti. Oh, I like this. I like the development of this very much indeed.
They're trying to work together on the straight. I'm not sure it works that well. You can't push the cars.
Yeah, you can't push the cars, but if they're not trying, well, these two Finns are really showing, trying it last time by. They both have the same idea. They don't want the victory to slip away here. As soon as that happened, Juha was perfectly content with working together with Antti, just trying to catch up to Sergio Macias. If it's possible or not, I don't know, because we still have 1.5 laps to go. And throughout Porsche curves, I think the Porsche curves are going to make all the difference here.
Yes,
I would say if it's less than 8 tenths or less than a second on the line, then yes, they can do it.
Yeah, it's all about this last part of the track before the last lap. We'll
and
see
let
what
us jump on
happens.
board.
If they
Yeah.
can't catch up to Sergio, then that's it.
Yep,
Then they have the battle for the second place on the last lap.
yeah,
themselves.
what I would really want is a 3-car battle.
Yeah,
Oh.
the four-car battle earlier on was quite something. It's a pity that was lost.
Yeah, indeed, and very difficult. Of course, these cars haven't driven on this track before, so they don't have much experience in that regard. Juha lifting behind Antti, and let's jump on board now. Let's jump on board with Antti Lepistö. See how he goes through these corners, because this is potentially for the win of this race. You can see Antti working the wheel, trying to eke out every inch of performance, squeeze it out of this car. Come on, one time, let every line hit perfectly. Last part of the corners, he does well, but does he do well enough? It's all about the last chicanes right now. Coming the second to last chicane, then the last chicane, he has to attack them. No point decaying now, no point defending, just attack, and that he does. He is catching up to Sergio Macias in the last corner, taking the curbs, and the gap on the line is... Oh! Antti, don't do that. The gap was 1.2 seconds, but right now, yeah.
Smelling the blood here.
Yeah, and Antti gets passed by Juha Lampi. Juha Lampi goes wide into turn number 1, and it is all-out battle from here on. Sergio Macias says thank you very much, runs into the sunset, and now it's between Juha Lampi and Antti Lepistö. Victor Rodriguez in 4th position. Then it is Gern Fridge in the 5th place, but the battle is raging on between Juha and Antti. Both cars very much sideways indeed. Antti using all of the track and then some as they come to the long back straight. Now, can Antti catch up to Juha? Is he close enough? I don't think he is. It is going to be Sergio Macias, I think, barring a miracle, that is going to get away with the win of this race, and for a good reason. He has been very good today. He started in the 2nd position, right behind
Antti
Juha
does have the draft.
Yeah, Antti has the draft. Oh, well, that's surprising development. It looked to me like he wouldn't have it. Like he was too far away.
Around the magic number, 1 second. He just catch the slipstream.
And indeed, so he goes to the outside, and there's not much you can do to him other than, well, give up the position. But retaking draft, this is what I was talking about earlier, about the battle between Juha and actually Sergio Macias. I was wondering if Juha does this, can Sergio come back? And he can, and Juha can come back as well. Attack Antti now, where will he go? Left, right, center, not center hopefully, at least. So Juha goes to the outside, to the left hand side. Antti is still ahead, coming into the braking zone. Juha brakes later on the outside. They're side by side, coming into the braking zone. Juha knocks out the cone, and he is not able to get it done, at least at this stage. Now.
One more try.
Yeah, one more try coming into Indianapolis, and then perhaps breaking into the last chicane. Maybe. I don't think these drivers, with these setups that they're running, can do the Porsche curves side by side. But certainly, Juha is still trying to catch up. Juha is still battling it out, and Juha hasn't given up, and that's a good thing. Of course, that's a very good thing.
No,
and Juha is going... They hit! Juha, oh no, Juha, mitä sinä menet tekemään? Breaks way too late. And also saying a little bit of a message that he was thinking that Antti might have blocked him. Let's see here. Yeah, Antti does change his racing line, to be honest, but does he come back to the racing line? Or does he close the door on Juha?
Oh, that's a difficult one.
I think he had all the right in the world to come and like defend his inside line there, but he had already committed to the inside, Antti that is.
Yeah,
he had committed to the inside, and you can't move that much. Yeah, you have to pick a line, and I would say around halfway through the track, like there is a halfway line that separates the halfway of the track, the left side and the right side. And I think he should have stayed on his side. He can move a little bit to pick his line, but not that much. I would put that, I'm sorry, but I would say Antti is in the fault there, but granted, Juha was also braking very late.
Yeah, Juha did what he had to do if he wanted to try to get past. That is, take the line that the guy in front hasn't, outside in this case, to the left-hander and rake as hard as you can and hope you can slow in time and pass the guy.
Indeed, and sorry also to Sergio Macias, we almost ignored you entirely, but you have won this motor race. Sergio Macias wins this race, indeed, he does come over the line. After all the drama, the development, Antti Lepistö in the second place, then Johanna Lampi in the third place. I believe it was Victor Rodriguez holding onto that fourth place ahead of Gernot Fritsch. Nathaniel Porter coming home in P number 6, very good for him indeed. Torsten Cowley in P number 7. Then Andrea Ventura coming to the last chicanes, battling his wounded car to the last chicanes, and comes home in P number 8. Ian Card in position number 9, and he surely would have wanted much more than this out of this motor race, but it's still a decent finish. At least he made it to the finish line. That can't be said for everyone. Philip Lake rounding out your top 10 as we predicted earlier on. He comes home in P number 10. Then Leonard Dupro, John G. Hill, Ralph Giancotti, Robert Simpkins, Urs Mathias, Dennis Dupuy, Oleg Kapovani, Xavier de Carpentier also still out there on the racetrack, as is Thomas Christopher, as is Pedoka Rudolph. So, a race of attrition, a war of attrition here. War of attrition here on Le Mans circuit. Sergio Macias able to take the race win, as he did in Montreal as well. That time he was challenged by Kalle Ruokola throughout the race. This time Antti Lepistö and Juha Lampi were the guys, mostly Juha, who were giving him pressure, but he held on and he was able to bring it home in P number 1. Antti Lepistö in second place, Juha Lampi third. Victor Rodriguez in P number 4. Getting a little bit feisty earlier part of that race. I did not like the block he pulled on Gernot Fritsch. I did not like it at all, but I hope he learns his lesson. Indeed, because we don't want to see dirty driving here. We don't want to see those Max Verstappen maneuvers at all. Gernot Fritsch in P number 5. And the list of your retirees. I'm going to just quickly go to the list, and then we can go to what you were saying. It is Mathieu Wood, Xavier de Carpentier, who was actually able to finish but 3 laps down, Mark Molina, Kalle Ruokola, Steve Salis, Sam Winton, Sam Doby, Vincent Chavot, Daniel Banker, and Thomas Towers. So, out of your 30 starters, 18 finished on the lead lap, and that is less than usual.
Yeah, well, it really was keeping those trains together, and if you lose the train, you drive alone for the rest of the race. I'm sure I had something to say before, but I missed it.
Indeed. And right now, all we can do is to wait for driver reviews. And as we are waiting for those guys, let's give a little bit of a shout out to our supporters, the people who back us up, the people who make these broadcasts possible, and the people who make it possible that we can bring live Classic Lotus Grand Prix broadcast to your home, to your living room, or to your bedroom. In either way, each and every Sunday. Trailer TV, of course, we are Trailer TV, and we are the people in charge of this. But it is Hydrogen Carbon Clean, as well as the truck interior. So Hydrogen Carbon Clean and as the truck interiors, who has been helping us along with the entire Classic Lotus Grand Prix, Lotus Classic Team Championship community. Big thanks to them as well. They have been a big part of supporting us, and also very, very nice people to work with in general. They are very good drivers and also lovely people to work with. Just, I cannot recommend enough. If you ever feel like you need adventure in your life, if you ever feel like, okay, there's something lacking, there's a hole in my heart, get the Lotus 79 and try it out and join a race. Try it out. It is pure racing car. You heard it from the best. You heard it from Tapani Linnaluoto. You heard it from Gernot Fritsch. You have heard it from all the other drivers as well. They absolutely love it, and for a good reason as well.
Well, maybe not on this track. Purely on handling reasons. But of course, it was interesting experiment. I suppose we're running with chicanes next season if we are running Le Mans. So we'll see how it. I would guess the chicane version would work a bit better with more normal setups, not these kind of slightly unrealistic ones we have to run here.
Yes, and I think we could also see a better race. With the chicanes, it will be more like Monza, and Monza provides good racing as well.
Yes.
And the thing is that I hope that next time round it doesn't come to the same weekend with the 24-hour of Le Mans. Because I think I'm looking at the drivers coming along. We see the top guys here. Of course, we see Gernot Fritsch was here, Kalle Ruokala was here, as well as Antti Lepisto, Sergio Macias, all those guys, Ian Card, Johanna Lampi. I think we have to count him to the top guys as well at this stage, and Victor Rodriguez also here. A couple of drivers who are the household names, but I'm seeing a large hole in the mid pack, the usual mid pack, where you see drivers like Mark Bickford usually, for example. You see drivers like Mark Bickford and Mr. Winfield, of course, Stuart Dick as well. You see those guys in the mid pack, and they were shining in their absence tonight. And I think that has a lot to do with not only how the weekend has gone, but also the chicaneless version of the circuit. I don't think it was a driver favorite. I think it provided some good racing, but hopefully we'll see this track with chicanes next time by.
Yeah, the trouble was that we didn't have any ready-made good setup, so it was pretty much up to everybody. I tried to post my quick work, but I'm not sure it was very good. I'm pretty sure that if you put some time to this track without the chickens, you can shave some time off those lap times, but it's not that much fun to do just the setup side of things.
Indeed so, indeed so. I agree with everything you said about setups because, well, I can't really disagree with someone who knows everything versus someone who is, well, it's student and a master relationship, I think, very much here in our broadcasting booth. Tapani, of course, being the kind person who taught me the ins and outs of the Lotus 79 race car. Meanwhile, we are joined in the commentary booth in our interview section by none other than Ian Card. Hello, Ian, and how are you doing?
Hello, everyone. This is becoming something of a regular slot for me, isn't
Yes, I heard you
it?
were.
It's like an extra member of the commentary team.
Yeah, well, you are allowed to join us in the commentary booth anytime you want. I love hearing your voice. I mean, I love your insight. So, Ian, Ian. I was first of all, I was surprised to actually see you here tonight.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bother with this track. It was not a favourite of mine. And after trying it out with the 4X Racing League on Friday night, I really wasn't thinking I was going to miss anything. Plans changed though for the weekend, so I thought, well, I've got some time on my hands, so I'll jump in. And surprised to actually qualify well and actually have quite an interesting race, so that worked out better than expected.
Well, you had much happenings in what we saw, at least.
Yeah, you didn't have to suffer from boredom, so to speak. So, you had quite a few incidents in that race. Part of them more avoidable than the others. Of course, the incident with Kalle Ruokola was the most unfortunate one, I reckon, because that was something I don't think either of us don't think you could have done anything about. But talk us through what happened from your point of view with Mathieu Wood on the Mulsanne corner.
Yeah, at that point I was just trying to save fuel, so I stayed behind him on the straight, just almost off throttle, just sitting in the slipstream. Pulled out at the last minute, had enough straight line speed to get alongside. I've always been pretty good on the brakes, so I was taking the inside, but at that stage in the race, the car is on old tyres. You've done a lot of sliding around because we have no downforce today. So I was expecting to have to run a bit wide, and I was thinking, well, I hope he gives me some room. And he did give me some room, but then it actually looks like he didn't make any contact with my car, but iRacing thought we'd made contact, and that turned me round, and then we actually did make contact. So I think it was the internet prediction code there which, you know, if we'd done it on a real racetrack, we'd both still be racing, but because it's over the internet, there's just a little bit of lag, and that's caused a collision which hasn't really occurred, because if you look at the replay, there does appear to be daylight between our wheels.
There is a little bit of daylight. There's a little bit of daylight indeed. We actually disagreed here on the commentary booth about our take on that incident, despite the netcode. But let's actually brush that aside, because I don't want to have an argument about racing ethics here in our commentary booth, as lovely as that discussion would actually be. So, trundling along with our interview, you started in position number 4. Then you had good balance early on. How hairy is it to come under braking? Is it as scary as it looks when you come under braking in a 4-car pack or a larger pack to the Mulsanne corner?
It's very... The car is moving around a lot, so it's not scary. I think if I was sat in a real 79, I would be probably adding to the contents of my underwear, but it's just very, very jittery. The car is stiffly sprung. It's got no grip. It's very, very easy to lock a wheel, and if you lock a wheel, you really have no space. So it's kind of worrying, because you know that if you make a mistake in that group, or if anyone else does, then potentially everyone's going to get wiped out.
Especially those braking zones seem to be pretty difficult today.
Yeah, and I mean, unless the track is quite cool and you've got a lot of grip mechanically, then all of the braking zones. I'm not a big fan of Le Mans, so I'll say that now, but I don't know what the corners are. I know the Mulsanne straight, and that's it. So bear with me. But at the end of the straight, that corner, and there's another very slow sort of right-hander a little bit further on in the lap. Those are the trickiest to brake for. The others are not too bad, but those ones there where you're going down to maybe first gear, coming from maybe 196, 197 miles an hour or more, with no grip, all of the weight is trying to get onto the front, the back is moving around, it gets very, very difficult, and the longer you run, the more the tyres get scrubbed, the harder it is to keep the back end under control.
So that is a driver's perspective of the what it feels like to drive the Lotus 79 around Le Mans. So next year we have had this discussion in the commentary booth. We were both agreeing on it. But what's your take? Should there be, if they run this circuit next year as well, should there be chicanes added?
Yeah, I think there should. I was pushing for the chicanes to go in to start with, overruled obviously. The problem with the really long straight is it is a bit boring if you're not involved with any other cars, but the problem with the long straight is it forces you to run a setup which is really on the edge, and it's pushing the car in a direction which it was never designed for. You know, this car is designed to take corners at high speed, and the whole chassis is designed around the underbody, aero. The wings are really very, very much for balancing the car rather than providing the main downforce. And what we have to do here to get the top speed on the straight is to basically counteract every single design feature on the car. So the underbody downforce, we try and eliminate that by raising the car up and springing it really stiffly. The wings are running as flat as we're allowed to, and it takes the car away from the whole design ethos. So at Brands last week, we had the cars running as Colin Chapman intended them, which was, you know, sitting quite low, using that underbody downforce to have scarily high corner speeds. And this week is exactly the opposite. But it does mean that if you want to go a little bit one way or the other on setup, here you have no options. You know, we run low downforce at Monza, and at Monza you can think, right, well, I might put a little bit more wing on so that I'm a little bit faster through the corners, give myself better exits. Here, you don't even have that opportunity to compromise because the straight is so long. I don't know whether chicanes will make the difference, but I think we should try them. They're not the sort of chicanes this car hates, which are really tight first gear chicanes. They're quite quick, so I think it would be good to put them in.
My guess would be that with the chicanes, the track would be quite Monza-like with the setup, maybe.
Yeah, I think, if you want to add maybe a quarter of degree of wing at either end of the car, or maybe just spring it a little bit softer, and maybe give up 1 or 2 miles an hour top speed to just make your cornering a little bit more predictable, make your braking a lot more easy, make the car handle better on late braking, then that's a valid strategy if we're not running with this ridiculously long straight.
And next week we have Nürburgring, the GP track. Any thoughts on that one?
It's a race where we've had some fun there in the past. It's a little bit more towards the sort of tracks that this car is suited to. I'm looking forward to it. I think hopefully we'll have a full field next week, and all the top guys will be back. I think we were a little bit light on drivers today, and I do have a setup for it already, which is quite nice. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Right.
Well, if you have anything to add to the conversation, to the already existing conversation, or if you have any greetings, shoutouts, and so on, go on. But if you don't, I'm going to thank you for the interview. Ian Card for position number 9, everybody. It was a pleasure to talk to you once again. And if you have anything to say, then do go on, please.
Yeah, thank you. Just a quick shout to David Sostello of the 4X Racing League, who took a win here on Friday night. Well done, David. I think that deserves a virtual round of applause, if nothing else. Other than that, thank you, Joonas and Tapani, for bringing us the show today, and I'm sure I'll see you next week.
Indeed, so thank you very much for coming to the interview. And one more thing I would like to take this opportunity to talk about 4X Racing League. Just briefly mention a shout out to those guys as well. Top class racing each and every week on Friday nights, of course, 4X Racing League. If you are a little bit intimidated at joining official races, but you know that you can keep the car under control, those guys will help you along, and those guys will also provide you with your first taste of Lotus 79 racing. Or alternatively, if you want to battle out for a league win with some pretty fast and pretty experienced Lotus 79 drivers, then that is the place for you as well. Very nice and very gentleman group of guys. I would highly recommend racing with them. But yes, thank you very much, Ian, for coming to the interview as well. And I don't think we have anyone else tonight. I don't think nobody wants to talk about race. And well, let's be honest here, some of our usual suspects perhaps are not in the mood for talking either. Sergio Macias hasn't been, we haven't seen him in the interviews. Antti said that, well, he doesn't want to make it this week, and Johanna Lampi didn't come here either. So I think we are going to do the following thing of wrapping this podcast up. Tapani, any closing thoughts on the race?
I just want to thank Ian for going through the specifics of the setup, which I don't think I did during the race. So thanks for that, and see you next week.
Yes, see you next week indeed, and next week it is. Same location, Twitch TV/Trellet. You can see all the Lotus 79 action live. This race will also be going to YouTube later on. And the race broadcast slot, as you may have noticed, it has moved. It has moved to 16:30 GMT. The reason being the daylight savings time, and also the reason being that we are going back to winter time, and as a result we cannot make the earlier time slot in Finland. So apologies for that. And next week it is Nürburgring, the legendary Nürburgring, but it is not the Nordschleife people know and love. No, it is the GP layout with the Blancpain Endurance Series / World Endurance Championship chicane. So the lighter chicane, the more shallow chicane, the Nürburgring, that configuration, 24 laps of Nürburgring. Tune in next week. I think it will be a good race indeed. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. I hope you enjoyed the race. And do please join in next week as well. My name was Joonas Puhakka. Alongside with me on the commentary booth was Tapani Linnaluoto. And behind the cameras and doing the work of 5 men, Eero Forsblom. So, thank you for watching. Take care and good night.